thinking about how can we make reviews more fun, how can we make them more reliable, and how can we kind of tackle that kind of fake review problem.
Sip of the lovely coffee, and we are back.
Yeah, that's it, man. Bora coffee.
I feel like we do this every time, but we said we'd be back in September. It's October. I feel like I'm not taking this one all on our own now. The things have happened out of our control. That means that we've had to delay a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Also, the amount of work that goes into this, man. I mean, I'm not like we love it. It's not a chore. We absolutely adore making this for years.
Yeah.
And we're so glad you listen. But it is a lot of work. Life's been hectic, man.
Yeah, any breaks, man. We got full-time jobs, wives, kids. You all know this.
We want to eat. We want to eat out a lot. We want to go to parties.
There's a lot to do. The diary's filling up.
We got stuff to do, man. So, how you been? Oh, amateurish of me. Welcome to Breaking Bread.
Oh yeah, welcome everybody.
Obviously, you knew it was Breaking Bread with a voice. You wouldn't have clicked on the.
Well, you know what? We've had to come back for a little mini series before Christmas, just because the amount of people messaging us saying, "Where's your podcast? I haven't had an episode in ages."
Which is nice.
Get on with it. Yeah, it's nice to get.
Yeah. So how you keeping?
Good, man. Good.
Saying this like we weren't out all last night with each other.
I know. Yeah. That's a good night, man. Burning Barn Rum.
Burning Barn Rum.
Fox and Chance. That was great.
Yeah, love Burning Barn Rum.
Yeah, their rums are incredible.
We've been from day one. They started about the same time we started the podcast, which is nice. So we've kind of grew together.
Yeah, it does feel a bit like that. Yeah.
There'll be more of Burning Barn Rum in the future.
Yeah, 100%.
Where have you been eating, man?
Oh, we've done some cool shit, haven't we, over the last, since August. So we'll keep it light, but Wingfest was the one for me. That was one of the highlights of the summer.
Mate, last year I seen Wingfest and I thought I ain't that overly keen on wings.
I know, we've had this discussion so many times.
Everyone knows this.
Anyone that's listened to the podcast from the beginning till now
Yeah.
will see the progression Liam's gone through.
However, it looked like great fun and I did get massive FOMO and I missed out massively because last year looked awesome. Loads of our friends went with you and it just looked wicked. So I was like, I don't care. I'm not fussed about wings. Next year I'm going. And then as it went to Herbertshire, tried Gert's wings. Biggest frigging wings I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, the big
I got massively into them. And now I was like, right, I can't wait for Wingfest. Mate, didn't disappoint.
So much fun. It was as much fun as it was last year. And it was a lot of fun last year. Like, I think I tried more wings this year. The booze offerings were better. Like, it was an improved festival. And obviously they've got it at the Bond, which, since they've done that up, I mean, what a job they've done there.
That's stunning, that place. It was a great venue for it as well.
It's like anything that happens now, like that sort of that ilk is going to be there now.
Yeah.
And good, because it's great venue.
That's the place, to be honest.
Yeah, it's really good. And I signed up to do the Lava Wing Challenge, which
Mate,
brought you no end of joy.
Oh my God. Even now, when I have days where I'm in my van, I think I'm going to have a little chuckle to myself. I'm going to go watch Carl do the Lava Wings. If you have not seen that video, go to our Insta, go to Reels and find the Hot Wing Challenge videos. You will see Carl absolutely sweaty. I mean, fair play to you, mate. I was in the front row filming and I could smell. It was burning my nostrils. It was that bad.
When they put them in front of you, I was like, oh, God. Like, I'm sure my nose hairs are burning. Like,
it smelled horrendous. I mean, the heat would be one thing, but it just smelled like it would taste disgusting, rancid.
I love hot sauce and I love wings, but yeah, I wouldn't describe the flavour as nice at all. It was like someone had like covered them in ridiculously hot battery acid or something like that. Like, I love hot. I mean, I love really hot. I was well up for it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking smash this.
Did it surprise you?
Yeah.
I felt like it had because you were so like, yeah, how hot can it be?
I was like, yeah, because I've had the hottest hot sauces in the world. We went to that chili festival and I tried the hottest one. And that was ridiculous. Like, I don't think I could have eaten much with that.
I mean, that was a pipette full there, not a whole
that was
wing.
like a little thing. And this was just wings covered in a ridiculous, because they make them hotter every year as well to up the game. They have medics on site. Every year someone has to go to hospital.
It was when the organizer of the whole festival came up to me and he said, have you seen the video of London? And I was like, I've seen the video of someone getting carried out by paramedics. I've seen that video. He was like, have you told Carl? I was like, I don't know. I don't think I should show him.
Well,
I'm just going to leave him.
I tried pulling some strings. I was like, come on, dude. Because we know that. I was like, I want to get on stage. I want to do this. He's like, I like you, Carl. So I'm going to tell you that this isn't a good idea. This ruins most people's nights. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. And I was just thinking, yeah, go for it. How hot can it be? And it was like obscene.
Fair play. What'd you get? 3 wings.
3 wings in, yeah, out of 6. So I did more
Oh,
than
mate.
most people did.
That's
So
yeah.
the first wing, most people left in there. They were like, fuck this.
It was weird because you have to sit and wait for a minute or two after you vet it.
Yeah.
But you ate yours and you looked like you were struggling. I was like, oh man, he looks done. He looks done.
I look like
And
that anyway.
Everyone looked fine, but then a minute later, you looked fine, and everyone else looked like they were about to like keel over. And loads of them just started getting up and were like, nah, forget this. What are you doing? So I was like,
man.
Carl, you got nothing to prove now. You've done one, but you carried on.
I carried on to the third one. And
The 2 finalists, I mean, oh my god.
It's like it was nothing to them. Like it was just a normal wing.
Yeah, like it was a normal wing from Bonehead or something. I couldn't believe it.
No, I don't know what's wrong with them people.
Yeah,
Something's
never
wrong.
right. But it was great fun. The food. I like that you could just go and buy one wing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so you
that
could
just
try
them.
everything.
That's the thing. You get a lot of these festivals. I'm not naming any specific ones, but you can't really try that much.
Nah.
But with a wing festival, you really do get to. If you wanted to try every vendor and every wing, it's doable.
I had 20 wings. I'm sure I tried nearly all of them.
There's 2 at each venue, and there was 10 people there, weren't there? 10 different wing companies, or maybe more.
Love that. £1.25 a wing.
Yeah.
Bargain. Like,
Yeah.
Set prices as well, so they can't like charge like a £5 for a wing.
Yeah, and you don't queue for long. You're up there, grabbed them, done. We had some cracking wings as well.
What about your Jamesons?
Oh, the black Jameson Black store. Like, oh man, that was. I wish
Frozen Irish coffee, wasn't it? Like milkshake. Or
Yeah, like a frozen milkshake Irish coffee. I wish I'd known about that after the lava wing, because that would have saved me completely. Instead, I just went and put my head under a tap. I'd look like I had had a heart attack. Someone actually came up to me that we know, one of our foodie friends, and she was like, "Oh my god, are you all right?" I was like, "I've done the lava wing change." She went, "Ah," because I genuinely did look like I was having a heart attack.
Yeah, I absolutely loved that.
Yeah, it was good crack,
That's
man.
definitely something I'm well up for every year. That is.
Yeah, I am.
And our friends love it as well.
What else we done? Oh, one of the collabs of the year so far, I think. Dan
Oh,
Lee
yeah.
and 670 grams with Cray. What a night that was.
That was fantastic. That was. I mean,
2 of the most
Dan Lee.
exciting chefs in Birmingham, 100%.
yeah, 670 now it's been done up, man. Looks
Yeah, it's
wicked.
beautiful. Cray's done a great job there.
Twice the size. Just feels more established, like a proper restaurant now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Do miss the old bar. Some cracking dishes. It's that broth. Dan Lee's broth. He does it everywhere he goes.
Oh, yeah, the Chinese chicken.
Oh my god.
I tried making it and I couldn't get it anywhere near as good as he. I mean, obviously, he's a fucking MasterChef winner, professionals, but it wasn't even close. Like, it was good when I made it, but it was nowhere near the level of flavour he gets into it.
It is ridiculous the amount of flavour he gets into that.
And what he's doing at Hockley Social at the moment, like his own thing there now. I went there and tried it. And we're talking about wings. I might have had some of the best wings I've ever had off him. And I sort of was talking to him about how he does it. And then wings are like 2 or 3 days in the making. There's so much effort put into them, it's obscene. But you can really taste the difference.
I'm really pleased for him. Just a really great dude, man.
It's
And
great to
he's
see
at
Gray's
Hockley now
place
as
busy
well.
as well, man.
Yeah, great to see
Like, this is
670
knocked
busy.
through. Like, it looks like it's always looked like that. You can't tell it's like had any work done. It's gone from just really small to like really big now. And it just looks like that's how it always looked. Same style, just beautiful inside, beautiful food. You can see all the kitchen. It's got great staff working for him.
Some nice little touches in there as well. Like, it feels like it's gone up in service-wise as well. There's a little stall for the handbags for them. That was
I know, yeah, handbag
Nice
stall. I thought the person must have brought that with him. I was like, Cray, what's the crack with that? Little stall. He's like, oh, let's put your handbag on. I was like,
It's a nice touch there. Someone,
it is, but I
people
was
spend
like,
thousands on a handbag and then have to stick it on the floor. Like,
yeah.
it's a nice touch. It's
You know what?
stuff like that,
I've
though.
never seen it anywhere else.
It must be something he's brought with him from somewhere else, like high end.
Yeah, I've just never seen it. I thought it was
No,
incredible.
really, great idea.
Yeah.
Where else have we been?
Blowwater, that was one. We've been talking about going to Blowwater for absolutely ages.
Blowwater with the
We've
legs.
done their pop-ups and stuff like this and street food style, but haven't got down to their actual restaurant yet. And we went before a Margarita Witch Cult gig, didn't we?
Yeah, great night that was. Jim
Awesome.
Weston.
Yeah, with Jim Weston, food blogger. Check him out on Instagram. It's awesome.
Or Twitter.
Or Twitter on everything.
Or X, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, it's X now, isn't it?
But yeah, we just ordered everything. We were like, would it be weird if you ordered just everything?
Yeah. I mean, the menu's not like, it's not got like 100
it's not
items.
massive,
It's like
like-
7 items or something like that. We're like, we'll just have everything, three of us will eat it all.
Yeah, I love the pancake. Pancake was banging. The dumplings, weirdly, I love the vegan dumplings with the mushroom.
Yeah, they were
That
great.
was fantastic. That was.
It's just a nice place. Like it feels really authentic inside as well.
Cool,
It's like
yeah.
really cool in there. Just like it does feel like somewhere you'd find in Asia in a little back street.
Yeah, it was my vibe. That was. Oh, and then the French toast. I mean, I'm obsessed with French toast.
Oh
Man.
yeah, forgot about
I
that.
love it. So when we were like, I mean, there was mooncakes on the menu. We were like, yeah, get some of them. And then she said, oh, we actually doing Hong Kong French toast as well. And I was like,
Well, I knew they did it. I thought they were
Sign me
doing it like breakfast, and I was like, all right. But then they said, no, we can do it. And I was like, right.
sign me up. So peanut butter, French toast with
Just melted,
condensed
but
milk,
covered
wasn't
in
it?
condensed
Melted
butter.
butter,
Yeah,
yeah.
loads of it.
oh, it was the best thing I've ever had. Like best French toast I've ever
I think
had.
it's the richest thing I've ever put in my mouth.
It was so good though.
Like if I was really hungover, like I don't think that'd just bring. I think if I was dead, that would bring me back to life, and out hungover.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, French toast quite soggy usually. Whenever I've had it, and I don't mind that. I quite like it. This was like really crunchy, wasn't it? It was delicious.
yeah, it was incredible.
Amazing, great place. Should definitely go back there. So obviously you're here mainly because you like listening to the guests, but obviously I'm thinking we get a lot of people say they like hearing us talk about the places where we're going. Like we've just been chatting about where we're eating in Birmingham, and you obviously like a bit of that. There's a new alternative to TripAdvisor that is Birmingham based. It's an app called Revuie, and that's what today's episode is all about. Sat down with its creator, John. Just talked all about it, really. Talked about his mission, really, about why he's doing it, why he's taking on the mighty but awful TripAdvisor.
Yeah, it's got its ups and downs in it.
Yeah.
It's just trying to verify reviews in a better way.
Yeah.
I think he's nailed it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's good. Basically, it tracks whether you've actually been to the restaurant or not. There's too many people sitting at home writing these reviews from the comfort of their home who've never been to the place, just slagging it off for no reason.
You know, I'd say just download it and give it a go, see what you think.
Yeah, I
no,
think
it,
it's brilliant.
it doesn't cost you anything. Just download it. If you like doing reviews, and lots of people do.
There's a real fun aspect to it as well with the badges. Like
Oh,
we've
yeah,
got our own badge on there
badges.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get and you hit the restaurants we've selected.
We've stuck 5 places on there. You find them places, go to them, you get your Breaking Bread badge. Not a physical badge, but just on the app. But we're going to work on getting maybe a physical one in the future.
Yeah, it's exciting.
There's the Bridge Boy badge. You hear more of this on the episode. We go into that one. And Bearwood Bites badge. It's just a cool concept, fun. And it's something I've really enjoyed using, actually, because there's only a few characters. You have to put photos, as you'll find out as you listen to this whole episode with John. Hope everyone enjoys this episode as much as we enjoyed making it. This is John reviewing. John, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
How you been keeping?
I'm really good, thanks. Really good.
I think we'll start. Maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Why you chose to make Revuie.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I mean, I've been doing various things over the years, and but most recently in e-commerce and TV shopping and those sort, which is a really kind of visual medium. You know, everything's photo or video, and you know, over time realised that reviews weren't like that. You know, you look at some of the review sites, and they are very few photos, and quite often really wordy. You know, long essays about stuff. And you know, as I looked into it more and more, you kind of find out the problems as well, where you know, venues are getting frustrated because you know there are fake reviews, and you know, and it can just drive down their average rating and their stars. So all these things were kind of going round together. So that thinking about how can we make reviews more fun, how can we make them you know, more reliable, and how can we kind of tackle that kind of fake review problem. Basically, out of that came the idea to do the app, really.
Why would you want to do that? Like, what was your kind of, why did you care about the businesses? Like, there must have been something that made you think, oh, I don't like how, say, you see TripAdvisor's sometimes a bin fire where there's loads of fake reviews, and you can see where a family or a group of people have like wrongly targeted a restaurant and just wrote a whole ton of reviews and got all their mates and all their family to write a ton of fake reviews. There must have been something that made you care about the restaurants to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of, I say kind of twofold. It's kind of my own frustration, you know, looking at review sites and seeing that they weren't that visual, seeing that they were, you know, too wordy. And it's quite funny sometimes to read them, like you say, like you look through and you think, oh, yeah. And almost sometimes that you read them and it makes you think, well, oh, okay, if they've saying all these things, it's actually probably not that. It's the opposite of that, and that's kind of the place I might want to go to. So it kind of came from that side first. But as the more I looked into it and the more I read like some of the news articles and some of the tweets about fake reviews and the amount of them, I think it might have been the Times. I can't remember. It was either which or the Times.
Yeah.
they kind of copy each other, sort of thing. Kind of the two kind of pushed it. The articles about apparently up to a third of TripAdvisor reviews could be fake. Obviously, I didn't say that. That was somebody else. So hopefully TripAdvisor won't sue me.
Yeah,
Um,
don't
but-
sue us,
Yeah.
TripAdvisor.
But the more you look into it, and then we were at Baked in Brick one day doing some. We went there to do some launch shots of the app and those sort of things. And chatting there, they had something where like an influencer phoned up and wanted to book for free to bring their friends, and when they said no, they left them a 1-star review. And it's things like that. The more I looked into it as we were going along, the more excited I got about what we could do for venues and solve some of these problems for them.
That is something we do see, though, isn't it? People
Yeah.
phoning up restaurants, not even just influencers, famous people. Well,
Mm.
I say famous, semi-famous people. Just phone up saying, I'll come in and I'll put you on my Instagram and just give me everything for free. And you're
Yeah.
like, no, that's not
Yeah,
quite how it works.
The venue's got to make money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in that sort of scenario, this it's one of the ideas of the app is that you can't do that. You can actually leave that review. So we made a decision early on: do we hide those reviews or do we leave them in there? And what we decided to do was put them in, but make really, really clear, which ones were reliable and which ones weren't. Photo does some of that because you can't really put a photo of a venue you haven't been to. But then we hit on this idea of what we call the real score. So the real score is where we give a rating of reliability to each review. So you've got the star rating that they gave the venue, and you've got our reliability rating. And we put the two together in like one emblem so you can see it really easily. So you've got the star rating, and behind you got some orange. And the orange changes based on how reliable it is, basically. So the review's still there. You can see it, but you can straight away see that it's not very orange, so it's not very reliable. And below a certain level of reliability, we don't count it into the average rating for the venue. So it's there. Basically, the fake reviews can't harm the venues because it doesn't change their star rating. And although it's there, you kind of see that it's not genuine. And it's kind of the story of that venue. You've got here's the genuine reviews, here's the unreliable ones, and you can get a real picture then basically what's going on for that venue.
I know you mentioned about photos, but how do you determine like which one's more genuine than another one?
Yeah, like someone's just got a picture off Google and put that on
Yeah,
their phone.
so and I have seen that actually. I have seen reviews that have got images from somebody's website. But the first kind of brush is our algorithm that looks for reliability, and the kind of the core of that is location. So have you been to that venue? And that takes the lion's share of the algorithm. We can look at things like was the picture uploaded from the camera or did it come from the photo library? That adds to it as well. We look at recency. So even if you've been to a venue, if it was say 3 or 4 weeks ago, it's not as reliable a review as if you'd done it while you were there, because over time your memory kind of fades of that time. So we kind of decay the reliability if it's been a long time. So that all goes into the algorithm. If you were to use a picture from the website, you haven't been there, so the algorithm will find out you've not been there and it will give it low reliability. We do actually do a second pass. So if reviews are unreliable, we go back and we look and we see, look, does it look like a genuine photo? And that happens most times when people have just installed the app. So they've installed the app, they're really excited to use it, and they go, okay, well, I went to that place last week, so I'm going to put a review on now. But because the app wasn't on their phone when they went there, we don't know they've been there. So that's the time when we kind of get unreliable reviews that actually are reliable, and we try and go back and see if we can find reliability in a way. And that's looking at the photos. You say, like, is it a genuine photo? Does it look like they've been there? Is it a photo that we haven't seen on the website, all those sort of things? So we can kind of go through those ideas.
When you say we, is there a team of people looking at this, or is this all automated?
It's kind of the royal we. It's me basically. So yeah, so reviewing full time is me. I use some freelancers for dev work and for marketing and those sort of things. But yeah, in terms of doing stuff, at the moment it's me, which is fun, basically. But yeah,
Are you going to read some funny reviews as well?
How long has it been going?
So we launched originally last April.
Okay.
And we launched as a kind of test. We did like a launch competition to try and get users in and get some feedback. And one of the decisions that I made really early on, and it turns out that it was the wrong decision, but yeah, you can only find these out by trying. But I didn't want any social media sort of functionality in the app. I wanted it to be purely on reviews, and I wanted the reliability rating to be the thing that said how valuable that review was. And the feedback that we got over those sort of first 6 months of the app being out there was that people really wanted a lot of these sort of social media features. Yeah, they wanted to be able to like other people's reviews. They wanted to follow people and then get a notification when that person they follow leaves a review. So we kind of quietened down for a little while, got the dev team back on it, and put all that stuff in. So we put in liking, we put in following, and those sort of things. And when we launched that version a few months back, basically with those features in, it was useful to do that test last year. It took me, if I'm honest, it took me quite a long time to get off my high horse and decide to put those features back in because I just thought, well, hold on, I think I made that decision to start with, and I didn't want to detract from that reliability being the thing. You can have a review that's got a lot of likes but is less reliable, and it took me a long time to try and get my head around how to put that into the app and how to make it work, and whether we really wanted to.
It,
Um,
it almost makes it like a popularity contest then, because somebody with the most friends, they've all of a sudden they've got the best review because all their friends have liked it.
yeah,
I think it's still good. I think you've still protected the integrity of the app and what it stands for.
yeah, and what you said there was exactly the problem I was having. I was thinking, well, hold on, if it's about liking and following, it takes away from that reliability. But in the end, I mean, I'd like to say that we implemented it in a different way, but I mean, it's the same as all the other apps. There's a like button, there's a follow button, but as it happens, with the way graphically we've done it, it's still there. Yeah, the fundamentally important piece is what we call the real score. It's the rating and the reliability. And you can see that, and we've kind of tried to do it so that the liking's more about that information. So somebody likes your review, then you can kind of see that see that they liked it. But also on your side is a really easy widget, so it's almost like bookmarks. So when you like something, on your profile, you can see all the venues that you've liked, and you can go through those reviews almost as a separate tab. So we've got a feature in the pipeline that allows you to make lists
Yeah.
of venues. That we're some way off making that at the moment. So in the interim, like, while we're waiting for that, the likes are quite a handy way of you
Helpful.
building a list of the places that you like as well. So I'm hoping it's more of a, oh, I like the look of that venue, let me try it, rather than oh, I like that, and become like a popularity contest.
How have because venues have been quite vocal about review sites in the past and mostly negative. How have the venues? Did you go to them? Did you bother asking us like how do you feel about this? Or
Yeah, I mean, so our goal is to help venues and to drive people to them, but we're not really talking to venues yet, simply because we need more users. The kind of the phase we're now is to build the user base, get more reviews coming in, and be useful to venues. So yeah, we haven't really had many conversations. Talked about it right in the early days with some venues, and the feedback was great. They liked the idea of the reliability score and only the reliable reviews counting towards the average star rating. But other than that, we've kind of kept under the radar really with venues so far.
it's always negative, but there's positive aspects to it as well. When somebody puts up a ridiculous review as well, there's nearly like every chef decides that they want to create a review app, don't they? They're all like, we should do this app where a bit like Uber, you know how both people get to rate. So you get to rate your driver, but the driver gets to rate you as well.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like a good in between for that kind of concept.
No, absolutely. And again, that's why we've kind of left those unreliable reviews in there, because it's part of the story. You see them there and you think, well, okay, it kind of explains it. We're making it so venues can respond as well. So we don't the last kind of social media function that I haven't put in, and I don't think we will put in, is commenting on a review. But we will make it so venues can comment on reviews. So there is that kind of that piece of feedback, basically.
It's always helpful when you're reading a review, because I do go not so much off more Google reviews a lot of the time now. But it's nice to see, like, if someone does have a bad review and the restaurant do reply, or hotel or whatever venue reply and say, sorry, on this day, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's better that they have replied, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Something, it depends how they replied and what the reply was. But if someone just said, and this came and it was cold or whatever, and they said, well, we did tell you, and blah, blah, blah.
it's good that you've seen them reply. If you're flicking through, it's a positive sign that the restaurant have turned around and
Yeah, absolutely.
interacted with the customer
Absolutely.
rather than just ignored it.
And it's kind of like a follow-on to that. And another thing with the app is it's like I see it as a micro review rather than a review. So it's a snapshot of that time that you went to the venue. And one of the things that we've put in is that you can. I think with a lot of review platforms, you don't really want to review places time and time again because you kind of feel like you're messing with the average rating. But with Reviewer, it's only the most recent rating that you gave a venue that counts in there. So if I go to the same place every day, it's only with the most recent one of my ratings that counts towards the average. And what that means then as well is, particularly in that scenario, if somebody has a bad experience at a venue, and the venue contact them or reply on the review, and they go back, that lower rating or the bad rating will come out and it'll be replaced by the new one. Obviously, the opposite's the same as well. If you go somewhere and it's not quite as good, the second time, then it will come down. But the idea is that it's you can review every time. It's more like a snapshot. It's so quick and easy. You literally just one or more photos in, do the stars, do some text if you want. You don't have to do text, but if you do, it's limited to 140 characters, so there's no essays. But you can do it time and time again. It's one of the things that people said to me earlier on. Oh, we don't want to keep on reviewing the same place, but that's what it's for. It's actually for that kind of. It's more of a snapshot of your visit rather than like a lengthy review of a place.
Well, places do change. Management will change. Chefs will change. It does vary massively.
Absolutely.
Just a few weeks difference can often make a big difference.
Yeah.
It's not that if a restaurant just has an off day and then you slate it on any other review site, that 1-star review lasts forever.
Yeah.
And then you could go back in a month's time and all of a sudden it's got its shit together and bang,
it's good again.
4-star, 5-star, but that 1-star still lives on.
Yeah.
So it's a bit harsh. I like that concept, to be
Yeah.
honest.
So with us, the original review would still be there, and you still be able to see it, but it wouldn't count now for the average rating because it'd be replaced by your latest one.
Did you do much research into like how people use review sites and stuff? Like I looked at it before because I always thought chefs in particular, I'm picking on chefs real bad there, but they do seem to just pick up on the negativity and just, it's all rubbish. And in truth, there's a lot to be found in feedback is a gift, and people are most honest online when it's faceless. So if 20 people are saying the experience was good, the restaurant was a little cold, well, your restaurant's probably a little cold. Take on the feedback.
Yeah.
Don't get angry about it. Just take on the feedback. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I read research and I found out, in fairness, it's only TripAdvisor who released this research, but they said of the people surveyed, very few, like if they saw a 1-star review and it was ridiculous, counted that, they would still go there after a bad review. They would just like discount it, and they were even more likely to go there if a chef had responded. That's what I was going to say. So if a chef had responded positively, then they would be twice as likely to go back or something. But did you use any of them kind of stats? Or?
No, not really. I mean, I've been quite gung ho with this, and again, that's probably what led me into that mistake with the social media functions, because I had a really clear image in my mind of how I wanted the app to look and feel, and I just kind of went with that. I've always been one for just doing stuff rather than researching it, which is probably, as I say, probably what led to that mistake. But yeah, no, it was really more a case of having used other apps, having used other platforms, just thinking how, from a user-friendly point of view, from a user journey point of view, how would I want that flow to be? How would I want it to work? And that's kind of a point as well. It's only an app. On other platforms, you can leave them online as well. And again, one of the early decisions is we don't do that. You have to leave the review within the app. That obviously cuts out some people from doing it, but it means that we know for sure if they've been there, because the only way really reliably to know if they've been there is to do it through the app, where you've got the geolocation, you've got the ability to ping off our Bluetooth beacons and those sort of things. So yeah, you can't really do it online. You can only do it in the app, basically.
Somebody has to have their location switched on their phone, would they?
Yeah. So there's choices there. So there's a trade-off between privacy and convenience. And there's quite an in-depth article on our website about how to make that choice based on what people want. So your options range from, just give the location permission at that point when you use it, so you can have it switched off generally. You want to make a review, you're at the venue, you go, okay, turn my location on now, leave the review. That's the kind of the ultra private kind of quite inconvenient sort of end of the scale. At the other end of the scale, and this is how I've got it set on mine, is always allow location. And what that means is that I don't have to do it when I'm at the venue. I can go out, I can take photos, and then when I get home, I can leave the review because the phone's just been checking location periodically, and it goes, okay, well, we know you've been there. It uploads those location hits when you open the app again, and then you leave the review. And then in between is kind of allow while using the app, which is very similar to the way I have it, but you would have to either do the review in the venue or at least open the app. So it's kind of the middle ground. You can say, okay, just have the location, and that's kind of the default. If you allow location for an app, it's allow while using the app. So you'd have to then in the venue open the app, even if you don't leave the review. You can still then leave the review when you go home, or you can go back into your settings on either your Apple or your Android device and say always allow, and then it's just free and easy. Then you just just leave the review when you get home, basically.
Is it just Birmingham based?
So the app, you could add a venue anywhere in the world and review it. And obviously, long term, our goal is to roll it out further. So if you went away, in fact, quite a few of our users now, if they go either elsewhere in the country or abroad, do leave reviews. But our focus at the moment is Birmingham. I'm from Birmingham. The team, the freelancers that we work with, are all Birmingham as well. A, it was easier to do it here, but B, if you're going to choose a place to start, what a great place to start. Where we've got an independent food and drink scene that's and people really care about it here. So it just seemed to make sense. Let's get it right in Birmingham. Let's make it so it works for Birmingham, and then let's roll it out elsewhere.
And does each restaurant have a beacon in the restaurant, or is it just off location services? You can just tell.
Yeah, no,
they've been
absolutely.
there?
I mean, we've got a few beacons out there in test places, but other than that, it works with GPS. GPS is okay. I mean, GPS works pretty well. It gets a little bit dicey in cities. So if you've got quite a few tall buildings, it can be a little bit harder then to get GPS exactly right. So that means we have to be a bit more of an approximation on whether somebody's been there. So in that situation, say for example, where somebody was really trying hard to leave fake reviews for a venue, they could probably be quite close and leave one. They could kind of come outside and leave one. What the beacon allows you to do is to really fine tune that. We can tweak the power on the beacon. You put it on the wall. You can walk around the venue and say, okay, this is as far as the venue goes, and we change the power to kind of do that. So long term, the beacons are the gold standard, but the app works just as well, without them.
What's the rewards that you were talking about before? For using.
Oh,
obviously,
yeah.
people can't see the badges now. But
Yeah,
showing us
sure.
the badges.
So yeah, basically, so we tried to make reviews more fun, more reliable, and we wanted to build a community as well. So the fun kind of comes from the badges, and it helps us build community as well. So the badges, basically, most of them are just digital. So you've got like you've got a My Badges widget in your profile, and as you make reviews, you can earn them. The review's got to be reliable. So if it's an unreliable review, it doesn't count towards badges. Only one review per venue counts for badges as well. So although we're a micro review platform, you can only really count for a badge once per venue. And we've got loads of different ones. So we started out with just really general ones like Restaurant Rover for restaurants, Pub Pro for pubs, Bar Buff, and then we've done more area-based ones. So we've got Kings of the Heath, Sturchy Stars, but then we've really tried now to start to get a bit further than that. So my favourite one at the moment is a collaboration that we've done with Mark Hippo Skulls. And Mark, I'm sure you know him, but for people that don't, Mark loves bridges, absolutely loves bridges, so Mark wanted to do a badge called the Weird Little Bridge Boy badge, and I think there's about 15 of his favourite venues that count towards this badge. And if you go to any 5 of them, you get the Weird Little Bridge Boy badge. And when you do, with this one, there's no physical prize, but when you do, between us and Mark, we give £25 to the Ronald McDonald House charity when you earn that badge. So it's ones like that we kind of find build a bit of fun, build a bit of community. We've done one with in Bearwood. You can earn a Bearwood Bites badge. If you go to all 5 of the venues that are in season 1 of their podcast, you get the Bearwood Bites badge in the app, but you also get like the little Bearwood Bites physical badge. We've got All Right Bab. So All Right Bab is one of the first sort of physical badges that we did. The badges have levels as well, so you get All Right Bab level 1. I think for doing any one review in Birmingham, you get it like straight away. The first review that you do. Then the level 2, I think, is about 3. When you do 5 reviews in Birmingham, you get level 3. and then we contact you and we send you out the little badge. And this is a badge. The only person that likes badges, I think, probably more than me in Birmingham, is Tom from I Choose. So Tom helped me design the All Right Bad badge, and there's a little nod. If you look at it, I won't say what it is, but there's a small nod to a Birmingham landmark in there, which is it's all Tom. I can't claim the any credit for that. That's 100% Tom. So the badges are fun, but they're also about discoverability as well, and it's another feature that we're trying to build to help venues. So let's take, for example, the Bearwood Bites badge. You've got to go to these 5 venues. So when you go into the badge, it will say, "Hey, look, you've you reviewed Tamu. That's goes towards your Bearwood Bites badge. How about going to these places as well? How about going to Cody's or Ala Mexicana?" So the idea with the badges there as well is to help drive business into venues. I'm looking at the moment to tweak the kind of the back end of the badge system to build in a concept of time of day and day of week. And the idea there is to try and build some sort of quiet hours badges, so we can make a badge to drive people into venues on the days they wouldn't normally go, and when the venues really need the custom. Not there yet with that, but it's a change that won't need any app development. It's all in the back end, which is something I work on. When I get my head around how to do it, we should be able to launch that fairly easily. And the idea then is, I think I don't know, the early bird badge or or whatever. But the idea is to kind of talk to venues and find out, look, when are the days that you need more trade, and then we can build a badge around that in an area, and then try and actually make it valuable that way.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Everyone needs it on a Tuesday, mate.
Tuesday, please.
Is your background in app development, or?
I've got a very convoluted and weird background. I'm pretty much a jack of all trades.
That sounds really dodgy.
So I
you don't look like a criminal.
No, not a jack of those trades. I left school at 16 and went straight into business. In fact, I was running the company while I was taking my GCSEs. I'd kind of go to work and then walk up the high street in Coleshill, where I used to live, to do my exams and come back. And that was in computers, basically. And then over time got into mail order, and then took a break to qualify in law, called to the bar. I've never practiced. Then went and did a TV shopping company selling wine, which was a lot of fun. Absolute waste of time in terms of financial reward, because people would watch us and say, "Oh yeah, a Sauvignon Blanc, that sounds good. I'll go to Tesco's and get some." And it was back when when all the supermarkets were all having a price war over wine. And we were just asking to spend just that little bit more, just a tiny, like £2. We were asking to spend £7 rather than £5, and people just didn't want to do it. They loved the show, so that was a complete and utter waste of time. And then into jewelry teleshopping. But yeah, I've always been on kind of ops, but also working with the devs. I've spent a lot of time working with devs, so I can do all the database work myself. So I've kind of got an understanding of how dev works. I can't do app development. I've tried a few times, because if I could, then obviously I could kind of shortcut. I could save some money and B, shortcut some of the time scales in getting things done. But it's just beyond me. I've tried a few times, spent a week trying to learn it, and realised that I'd be better off spending that time doing something else. But I do most of the database work, and that's kind of where things like the badge system and things live. So yeah, that I can kind of tinker with at times.
Has Revuie been tougher than you imagined when you started?
Oh, 100%.
I think it always is, isn't it? When you start a business, you dream that you're going to sell it up, it's going to take off, it's going to be wicked straight away.
Absolutely. I naively thought that all I had to do was build the app, tell people about it, and they'd use it. What I didn't realise is that it's asking people to change their habit. So that the habit is either, or is most likely, you go to a restaurant, you take some photos of your food, you put it on Instagram, and I'm trying to ask people to, rather than do that, or in addition to doing that, put it into the app as well. I've tried to make it easier, so you can just share your review out to Instagram. So yeah, and what that does is it puts a wrapper around with your the star rating that you gave the venue and that sort of stuff. So it kind of trying to make that journey easier, but yeah, it's trying to change people's kind of habits.
I'm not seeing that. Is that just a share button in the app?
Yeah. So yeah, when you it comes in two places. So when you have left the review, there's a screen that comes up. It tells you if you've earned any badges and that sort of stuff.
Mm.
And underneath there should be a Facebook and an Instagram button, so you can just share it straight out. And say it takes it puts a wrapper around, I think, with your username, the venue name, and the star rating. It just goes to show how hard it is to kind of change that perception. It's another reason why I was eventually talked into putting the the likes and the following in, because that's got notifications as well. So if you leave a review, then when somebody likes it, you get a notification. If you follow somebody, when they make a new review, you get a notification. So it's just trying to get people to remember the app and keep on coming back. I had to dinner on Friday night, and I took loads of photos of the venue as I got there. My food came. I was that hungry. I was literally tucking in, and I thought, I need to take a photo. And it is just that changing,
Yeah.
just changing habits,
Well,
basically.
that happens to us. We're used to just taking photos of our food, and I still get halfway through a dish. Oh shit, I didn't take a photo.
I do like the reviews we get in the app sometimes, where there's literally a picture of an empty plate and they say, "This was amazing, so good, I forgot to take a photo."
There was an Instagram. Someone made an Instagram once, and it was just literally the empty plate.
Brilliant.
Every photo was an empty plate, just like obviously it had food on it, and just and they were like, "This was incredible."
I would imagine this would be very difficult to do. But is there any legs in trying to get the review set up for street food venues? Because street food's massive now, and obviously the location changes for all the time.
Yeah, so actually, it's one of the things that we can do, and really nobody else can do, and it's because of the beacon. It's a piece of tech work that we've got again in our roadmap on this one. We haven't quite. There's a couple of things we just need to work out about how to do it, and one of the problems with our roadmap is that I've kind of got venue things and I've got user things, and recently I've been prioritizing the user things to get the likes and all that sort of stuff in there. But yeah, now street food is exactly one of the things we can do with the app, because if you've got the beacon, so say for example, there's a pizza truck that comes to our village Wednesdays, and he goes to different places. Yeah, he goes the same place every week, but different places every day. He could have a beacon in the truck, and if you're going past, you'd be able to see the reviews. So yeah, no, it's totally something we can do. Imagine if you're at a festival and all the vendors had got a beacon in there. You could literally stand in the field and in the festival and go, okay, these are the people that are nearby, and these are the ratings. So yeah, no, that's totally something that we can do. Not there yet, but
I do think they're the ones they sort of miss out on the positive side of reviews.
Absolutely,
Because we sit here and go, there's a lot of people giving fake reviews.
Yeah,
but you said it was 1 out of 3 or something like that. That means there's 2 reviews out of 3 that are genuine and are good, and very likely if your restaurant's good, you've got 4 or 5 stars or whatever the rating is, you're going to be the higher end.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's definitely something good. I think it's something we need to do fairly soon, because as you say, that's kind of
it's huge now, isn't it? It's one of the main things that just happens now. And pop-ups, you'll have a venue, say the Duke, for example, they have pop-up kitchens there.
Yeah.
So I suppose if the person that does the pop-ups, they could have a beacon that they take with them, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like they take their Stripe or whatever it is for payments, they just take the beacon as well. It's there, and then people walking by can see see the venue and see the reviews.
That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah, something I never even thought about. There's probably some street food chefs being like, "Mate, will you piss off? We've had it easy. We don't need the reviews."
But I mean, if you're good, a lot of the time, most reviews will be good. Like some of the people we know, chefs that kick off online about reviews. I mean, you'll have to scroll for a while to find that 1-star bad review. You'll have to go past 20 5-star amazing reviews, and then you get to that one that's not good.
Interesting. It's one of the low star rating reviews we had on the App Store for the app, was that the reviews were too positive. People were saying, and funny enough, one of them was one of my reviews, because I'd been to a coffee shop and I went, good coffee, and I gave it 5 stars, and this person on reviewing the app said, look, it was good coffee, why is it 5 stars? So one of the things we've done to solve that is we've put a little word above the stars. So really simple thing, but as you choose your star rating, we change that word. So if you chose 3, the word's average. If you choose 4, it's good. If it's 5, it's awesome. So it's kind of helping you understand that, okay, if I'm choosing 5, it should be awesome. Yeah, it should be out of this world sort of thing. Whereas 4 is good. And I think that's another thing about reviews, is that we've kind of got into this world where we think that only 5 stars counts. Actually, 4 is really good as well.
Yeah.
And it's just trying to get that, just get that kind of get the acceptance of that, but also encouraging people to choose the right one. I'm terrible for it because I just like people and I like to give them 5 stars.
Mm.
But another thing we think about putting in as well is, again, you don't have to put words. You could put no words at all. But obviously, it's quite helpful to see something in there. So we're looking at a kind of a system where the combination of the rating that you chose and the type of venue just gives you a little prompt. So I don't know, say it was a pub, and you gave it 5 stars, then the little question that comes up might be, oh, what beer did you really enjoy there, or yeah. So the idea is just to give people something key, because quite often you sit there and you look at the words, you think, oh, I don't know what to write, but it would kind of just give those little prompts and try and eke out information that's useful. Because it's interesting, you can, in 140 characters, you can say a lot. Some of our users, when you look, I mean, one of the users I really like to look at is Foodies of Brum. Those guys, they just put, in 140 characters, you know about this place. Jordan's the same as another one of our users. You look at that and you go, okay, I understand this place. You've got the pictures, which really gives you the context, and you've got the words. But yeah, I remember somebody saying to me, "Oh no, I can't write it 140 characters," but you can, and it kind of cuts out the waffle, and you just get to the point.
I think it's a good way of doing things.
You see a long review and you're like, no, I ain't reading that
Yeah,
one.
who reads it?
I ain't got
That's
time
another
for that.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet,
Like-
you know, if it says read more and you have to click,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah, I
imagine
don't.
the people who click is
Because again, this is
very
another
few.
argument that I've had with people, not an argument, but people say, no, you need to make it so you can actually put more in, but don't show it on the page, and they say have a read more. But I think it's one of the things I just won't change. I think it's got to be short, because of course you don't have to. So the name Revuie, it comes from review and selfie, because the original idea kicking it around the table was that people would be leaving kind of selfie video reviews of places. Actually, not many people do that. Occasionally, people do. People actually generally do photos, but you could do that. There's nothing stopping you making a video review of the place, so you don't have to just use the text.
I think you should make it the rule that everyone has to do the mark selfie at the beginning. Where he just points at the sign.
I did try one myself once, but it didn't look anywhere near as cool as Mark's.
No one makes it as cool as Mark. That makes me think. Did he help you name it, or did you tell him that's what you named it after, and he decided to start doing that?
No. I think he just that's
Maybe
all
he worked
that's
out,
all
he's
him.
very smart.
That's all him. Yeah.
Is it possible that if somebody has notifications on all the time and location all the time, that you might say, like, because sometimes people just forget to write a review when they're in the venue. I do all the time. I forget. So if you sit down and have dinner, and then maybe you get a prompt from yourself saying, "Oh, how was dinner tonight at 670 or wherever?"
Yeah, so it's an interesting one. I can think of a way of doing that when venues have got beacons, because it's an event that we it's a trigger, if you like. I know other apps do it, but it's something I'm a bit cautious about doing more generally, because we'd have to be doing quite a lot of back and forth to the server. And I'm one of the things I'm trying to do with the app whenever we think of functionality is try and keep that kind of battery load low. I looked at my phone today, and today the app had used 3% of battery. I think Mail was 10%, Safari was 33%. So it's something that we've managed to achieve, where even if you've got location on all the time, it's not really draining your battery. So any kind of feature, I try and think about, will it put much load on? And at the moment, I haven't quite worked out a way of just using GPS location to get the app to know which venue you're in. But certainly when we get more adoption of the beacons, yeah, definitely we're looking to do that. Put a notification out to say, okay, oh yeah, we can see you're at Arch 13. Why don't you leave a review? Definitely.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. As I said, look, so many times where I've got home, I didn't open my app, and I definitely didn't leave a review.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do leave a review, and then, as you said about at the beginning, the review process where somebody does say, "Oh, actually, it looks like a genuine review. We will allow it."
Yeah, that's
even
me.
Yeah. So that's happened a few times. Which
So
is good.
the easiest thing to do there is to have the always allow on. And as I say, even if you do, it doesn't drain your battery. People might think, I don't want the app to know my location. But when you go into the settings, you can delete it at any time. So, if you wanted to have it on, say you're going out for the night, you could turn always on, always allow on. Then when you get home, you can leave all your reviews, and then there's just one button press that just deletes all the location data out of our servers. So it leaves the one, obviously, it leaves your reviews as they are and reliable, but it takes out any kind of like just the raw location data out of the server. So we've kind of tried to think about that, think about privacy, and just giving people comfort basically to turn that on.
Does it filter out not just the bad reviews that aren't real? Because obviously a lot of places do the reverse. There'll be a lot of reviews that are very good and no one at there.
Yes,
They've done it and
Yeah.
they've got their family to do it and they've got all
Yeah.
their friends and everything. Because not hospitality, but we know people. We'll get a message, lads. Can you put out a Google review for my company? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And leave 5 stars. And
So there's two kind of facets to that, isn't there? There's the good review from somebody that's never been there. Yeah, absolutely. That's the same as bad reviews that have never been there. The app will be able to see them they've not been there. There's also the people that work there leaving reviews. So what we can do there's if you ever get bored or have trouble sleeping, you can read our patent. It's about 200 pages of technical gumph about the algorithm behind it. But one of the things that we look at is length of time you spent at the venue and length of time that people on average spend at the venue. So if you've got the situation where somebody's working there and just keeps on leaving reviews, then we can see that because we know they're there all the time, and that's much longer than people there that are just dining or drinking there.
What do you do about that? Just send them away there, mass. Like, stop it.
It just all feeds into the algorithm, and the
Yeah.
algorithm
Pushes it down.
will push it down.
naturally,
Yeah.
it's easy to forget that people leave bad reviews that have not been there, but it does happen the other way around as well.
Absolutely.
The problem I had with the location, who I said going back to forgetting and then getting reviewed, was when I first started reviewing. I think I'd done like 6 reviews all at once. It was
Yes.
like, because we eat obviously a lot. So I was like, oh, I've been hit this 6 places like in the last 2 weeks. I'm just going to throw them all on. And then it was like, oh yeah, unsurprisingly, they were like, there's no way you've been there today. And I was like,
Yeah, we get that a lot because people download the app, and it's one of these things that you can see it's going to happen, and it's not an experience I want people to have because you've just got the app, you're that excited, you want to leave a review here and now, and you don't get the reliability. And I had one person, I'm not going to say who it is, but I had one person get so cross that I think by the 3rd review they left a review for a venue and it said consistent and always reliable, unlike this app, because we were constantly not giving them the reliability. I chatted, and now he's like one of the app's best friends, and I know it's frustrating. You've got this new app and you've gone, oh, I really want to do it, and then the app's telling you off almost. Yeah. It's like you don't. So what I've tried to do there is I do review them, and I try and do it. I've actually got now my phone pings me if it happens. So it used to be there was a report I used to run and look for them. So every day I'd check it 3 or 4 times. But I've now got it set so if somebody leaves a review and it's not reliable, my phone pings, so I can stop what I'm doing and just have a look at it. But I've also tried to explain it in the welcome series as well. So when you sign up to the app, one of the first things that you get now is the first email in the welcome series explains location and why it might not work that first time, and the fact that we review it if you don't get reliability.
Yeah, hold your horses. That's what it should say.
Yeah.
Hold your horses.
I was going to put a
Don't get
message
too
that goes,
excited.
easy, Tiger. Hold on a minute. We know you're excited, but make sure you've been there recently. I'm thinking of changing that kind of screen as you leave your first review. Maybe just try and see how long it is since you've installed the app, and maybe put something up that kind of literal, just to say, look, because you don't want people to be disappointed that when they're first in. But bottom line is, if you've not used the app before, once you've installed it, you probably want to wait until you've been to a venue to review it. But then if you've got the right settings, you can just set and forget and just review, when you get home or in a batch. I have quite a few people who do exactly what you were saying. They go out all weekend, and then Monday morning, 10 reviews come in, all one after the other over the weekend, because it's when they've got time to do it.
I asked how the feedback was from venues and stuff. How's the feedback been from users? Do you get much, or are people buying into the whole community aspect of it?
Yeah, I mean, we went out looking for feedback last year. We kind of put a group together to try and see what people thought of the app, and that's where this stuff came in. There was all the social stuff. There was also, when we launched, it was square images only, so you had to put one image at a time and crop it, which was quite a disjointed way of doing things. Again, that's just down from me having a vision of how I wanted the app to look. I wanted to kind of get more reviews on a page on your phone by having them square. Came back from the feedback, and in the end, it was Tom again from iChoose that taught me into people are used to scrolling past photos. So now basically your first image sets the aspect ratio. So if your first image is portrait, it's portrait, and it takes up most of our screen. If your first image is landscape, it's landscape. So that was a change that went in. Another big one, and this one came from my wife. although you can review a venue once you've got home by having the always on, you couldn't in the first version of the app. You couldn't add a venue unless you were there, and this got me all sorts of stick at home because my wife would say to me, "Look, I'm out with friends," and it's actually really easy to add a venue. You've only got to type in the name of the venue. Choose the type from a drop down. Is it a bar? Is it a restaurant? That's all you got to do. But even so, it can feel a bit rude if you're there doing that when you're out at dinner with friends or out for drinks with friends. So now you can do it that way, and if you just add a venue and don't do anything with the location, it puts it exactly where you are at the time. But you can go into that location. You can search. You can search for somewhere else, and you can put the venue in that place on the app. So it means that, again, that same thing. As long as you've got location on, it could be recording where you are, and then when you get home, you go, "Oh, the venue's not there. I can add it," and then the two things still tie up afterwards, and you can still get good reliability. I have had people. One of the other reasons why I put that in was people didn't quite get that in the first release, and I've had quite a few venues that were actually set at people's homes, and I was having to go and find out where they really were and move them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people would be knocking on your door asking for pizza.
So did you have many people saying that they actually went out and discovered places on behalf of
Yeah,
you?
no, absolutely. So this is one of the really so our core kind of I hate to use the word focus group, but our core kind of team of people that looked at the app were foodies from from the Birmingham scene, and even they were saying, "Look, we found new places to go through the app." That was one of the pieces of feedback. I got all this, if you like, not negative feedback, but all this stuff like, "Oh, my original ideas weren't right. Like, you've got to put all this social stuff in." But we had this one piece of feedback as well that people that are already out, already either blogging or on Instagram and known for food advice, we're finding new places to go through the app. It's so different scrolling through a feed of images of food and drink to trying to look on a map and click on one, and it's really if you try going through Google and trying to look what places look like, it's just disjointed because you've got to bring the map up, you've got to look at it and go, okay, I'll click on that one. You click on that one, and then there's a picture there, and it's not an easy kind of way to do it. Whereas with the app, if you start with the feed, you could scroll through the feed, or you could search, and when you search, you can either search for tags. Tags and cuisine are the same in the app, so it could be Italian, Chinese, or it could be an attribute of the place. It could be romantic or quiet or fun or whatever. I could put in romantic pasta Birmingham. I'd get a feed of reviews about places that hit those criteria, so you can just scroll through that and then you can find the ones that you like, basically. So it's a much more visual and easy way of finding where you want to go.
That's the beauty of leading with photos as well. You
Mm.
see the photo straight away. Oh, that looks good. I'll have
Yeah.
a bit of that. What's it saying? Oh, the reviews are good as well. Let's go there.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
a good idea.
And also the badges as well. The whole idea of the badges is to drive that discoverability. So if you are if you're out and you've left a review, it will tell you that you've got one review towards, say, your Kings of the Heath badge. You can go and look at that and go, okay, let's go here, let's go there, and it just kind of drives that kind of discoverability. That's why we're doing quite a lot of work on the badges to make them thematic and useful as well to both the users and the venues.
Is there anywhere you've discovered through the apps that you didn't know about before you started doing it all?
Oh yeah, well, absolutely. I went on, and it's also because I like to try and make the app, have as many reviews as possible. So I went on a little crawl with my mates. I don't get out often, basically. So got a young family, not much childcare. So it's either the occasional trip out with my mates or me and my wife going out. And obviously those two are both very different sort of things, different experiences. We go to different places, and that's one of the things I love about Birmingham, is that you got that kind of variety. I can look at a place on the app and I can see, well, is this where I go with my wife or is it where I go with my mates? But we did a little crawl. We did the Wolf, we did Indian Brewery, we did Barrel Store, and Arch 13. And
good places.
all good, and
all 5-star.
And it was basically that was like a little crawl. I just went on the app and I just went, okay, I want to hit as many venues as I can in a small area, and I was finding places there. I think the Barrel Store just opened at that point, so again, found that on the app. I hadn't heard of it. Okay, let's go there. Funnily enough, I think that now would have got me the weird little Bridge Boy badge. We didn't have that badge back then when I did that crawl, so I'll have to go and do it again to get the badge.
Was there anything else you wanted to bring up before we moved on to food? Just general food in Birmingham.
We made a decision early on not to use a database of venues. So we don't use the Google database. We don't use the OpenStreetMap database. Coming back at the back of COVID, I wanted the data to be fresh. I wanted to have venues in the app that people go to and are still there. But obviously what that does mean is that day one there was nothing in the app. So me and had an apprentice at the time on digital marketing. We just literally spent 3 days walking around Birmingham and just adding venues. People can add their own, and people do that. Venues can add themselves, and it's free for a venue to add themselves. And if it's already been added, the venue can claim that one. So as well, so say for example, your venue's on there already. You hit the claim button, that comes through, and we validate the claim. The venue then has control of that venue, so they can add a photo. They can change the details, like the address and all that sort of stuff. They can add tags, and the photo is quite important because we've got about 7 or so venue types, and we've got an icon for each. So we've got an icon for bar, we've got an icon for pub. So as you go through the app in places like the little drawer that comes at the bottom of the map, if the venue hasn't added an image, we just show our icon. We show the icon for restaurant or for bar. But if they add an image, then in any kind of venue search results or in the drawer at the bottom, that image comes up. So venues, if they claim it, there's no cost to do that part. They can put that image up. They can kind of show some more of the venue, stand out more from other venues, basically. So it's quite
It's worth them doing.
Worth them doing.
Is that through the app that they claim them, or on the website? Or?
Absolutely. So on the app, on the venue details page, they hit claim this venue, and then it just comes through to a list. And basically, I just have to verify if they own that venue generally by giving them a call or emailing the venue.
Yeah, because we do get quite a few hospitality peeps listening to this. So download the app and claim your business, because
definitely worth
people are using this app now, and if they're looking at it and you haven't got a picture up, you're doing yourself a disservice. You might as well make it look professional, make people want to go there. So I was going to say, so what is the dream? Where does this take you now? Is it nationwide, global?
Oh yeah, I mean the dream is to not see TripAdvisor little stickers in any window, anywhere in the world anymore, and see a review sticker. That's the
I can hear people cheering.
That's the dream.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
just obliterate them and create something better.
Replace them, basically. Yeah, replace them with something that is more, it's more visual, it's more fun, and it's got reliability baked in.
I think it's a great concept, mate. I think genuinely, I enjoy using it. I wish I'd used it more. I do forget, as I said, the prompts would help.
Yeah, we'll try and prompt you.
But, so you say you're from Birmingham?
Yes, yeah.
What do you think of the food scene in general in Birmingham? Obviously, it's good enough that it made you want to design this app.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I don't unfortunately get out much. But when I do, it's great that you've got such a variety. I said the last couple of times I've been to Birmingham, came with my mates the one time, and we did a good crawl around the Jewellery Quarter, and we had a fat naan at Indian brewery, which was just amazing. I've spent a lot of my life in India. I used to be. I had 6 months where I was week on week off in India. I'd come home for a week, go back for a week.
Wow.
And I've eaten a lot of food there. And I was with one of my friends. I was with a similar sort of story. He used to spend a lot of time out in India as well, and we just loved it. I mean, the fat naan was just. We'd had quite a few pints as well by then, so it was perfect. It was filling, and it just set us up for a bit more. I think we had some cheese and wine next to it, Arch 13 afterwards. So that was like living the dream.
Have you been to Bunderbust or Dishoom?
No, not yet.
Both of them very good, real good. Dishoom's got that kind of Irani cafe kind of vibe. It's like it's more of a street foodie kind of feel, and then Bunderbust is vegetarian and they have beer as well. They do their own brewery, so that's pretty
brilliant.
cool.
Now I must try that. When I used to be in India all the time, I was almost always vegetarian.
Yeah,
just
they just do it so well.
Yeah. It's certainly where I used to be in Jaipur, the menu was the same size. It was like one side meat, one side vegetarian, and it was just as much choice basically. So yeah, no, I love that sort of thing. And then with my wife, it will be a different kind of evening. So yeah, we went to a row the one time for a special occasion. Really enjoyed that. Really good food, and it's the fact you've got that variety. You've got that kind of complete. You can have just different nights in different ways. Unfortunately, I don't get to go many places other than really like in the city centre, because I live in the outskirts, and the train just brings me into the city centre. It's hard to get to the Sturchleys and or King's Heath, and you look at the reviews on the app and think, oh, I really want to go there. So I've got to try and maybe talk my wife into driving one night and I can have a drink.
Yeah, that must be torture in fairness, because everyone's reviewing everywhere in Sturchley, and you're like, oh, I'd love to go there. Look at that.
That's got to be the
Vietnam.
highest sort of concentration of new places and
Yeah.
stuff at the moment. That's definitely the in venue, isn't it?
Talk about somewhere
Place
that's
to
just
be.
blew up like
Yeah.
over the last 3-4 years. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Oh, you had a couple of events in October.
Yeah, so October we've got the weird little bridge boy. I'm not allowed to call it a pub crawl. I can't remember why, but I've been told not to call it a pub crawl. But
It'll get him in trouble with his wife. If
I
his wife
think-
won't let him do a pub
I
crawl.
think it's because we want the charity to endorse it, the Ronald McDonald House charity.
Yeah, okay.
And I think the view is that they probably wouldn't want us to call it a pub crawl, but let's call it
Not a pub crawl.
yeah. Yeah. So we've got that coming up, and basically I think we've got space for I think 15 people on that. There's no ticket price. It's completely free. I'm not sure how you apply for it. I think you might have to tweet Mark possibly. And the idea is that that we'll just go around the venues that count, or some of the venues that count towards that. And it's probably going to be very similar to my little crawl I did with my mates. So it'd probably be the Wolf, Barrel Store, Indian Brewery, Arch 13. We'll probably do a walk by Turtle Bay just because it's on Mark's list. He's never been there. He's actually never been there. Just like he's never been to the Borrow Store.
Yeah.
But no, we'll probably do a walk by there just. I actually wanted us to go there just for fun, but that's been vetoed. So we got that one coming up. We've got the Weekender, which so WKHNDR, the Weekender, which is Kings Heath. It's something that we've done with Kings Heath Bid, and it'll be a 4-day badge. So basically, if you go to any venue that's in the area covered by the bid in those 4 days, the first 100 people get a Weekender 2023 badge. I think the first 10 get a gold. It's not real gold, obviously, but
solid gold.
Get a solid gold medal.
An imitation gold one. So yeah, we've got those coming up. Previously, we did a badge with the Birmingham Food Festival. That wasn't a physical one. That was just a digital one. There was Festival Goer and Festival Champion. If you had Goer for 1 and Champion for 5 reviews. So yeah, it was just trying to find those events basically, or champion things and build some community, build some fun around them.
Yeah, love it. It all builds everything around the independence. Well, not just the independence, but the food of Birmingham, which seems to be focused more on independence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, love that. You got your questions?
Yeah.
Just so you're sorry, man. I spoke right over you.
These are some quick questions. People engage a little bit about yourself and just what you think about the world. You don't have to give it too much thought. People seem to give them loads of thought. You don't need to.
They're never quick. Don't worry.
Okay.
No, they're not quick. I'm
They
going to
keep
change
saying
quick
quick,
questions. They're not.
They're just the nicest way to finish the podcast.
Yeah.
What's your favourite TV show?
Oh, so many, but and this might make you laugh. Magnum.
Nice.
Yeah, Magnum, and I think it's because both me and my wife have some kind of crush on
Tom Selleck.
No, not Tom. I don't mean the original. I mean the remake.
Oh right.
I mean the remake. So we're both quite fond of Higgins.
So is the new one better than the old one? I can't believe that.
It's fun. It's fun.
Right, cool. What's your favourite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh, do you know? I think I've stopped watching movies, and I think it's possibly because just don't have the time.
Yeah.
With kids. But my son and I have just gone through all the Star Wars. He's 6, so maybe some of them we shouldn't have watched. But we've just been sort of from start to finish with the Star Wars, and we've just done Jurassic World or Jurassic Park and Jurassic World again. So I think movies change when you've got kids of that age. It's kind of less about what I want to watch and more about
what they want to.
what he
Frozen
wants.
again.
Yeah.
I just watched. I don't watch many films anymore. I just watched Man Called Otto. Tom Hanks. You seen that? It was only
Yeah,
out
I've
last
seen that.
year.
Is it good?
Oh my! Bring tissues. It's sad.
Oh, in a sad way.
It's real sad. It's so sad.
I haven't heard of that one.
It's really good though. One of the best films I've watched in a long time.
Oh, cool. Did you have a favourite band or artist?
I see. Again, I'm not much fun with these sort of things. So I just listen to lo-fi and Spotify. And if I listen to anything, so I generally don't have music on, but if I do, I find some lo-fi and I put it on.
Just chill out.
And again, I think it's another way the world's changed, isn't it? It's like I couldn't tell you who I'm listening to because choose a playlist on Spotify. Whereas I remember when I was young, you used to buy an actual record and you know what it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
you invested in it. You had to like it. You just spent your whole
just
week's
spent it.
pocket money on it.
Yeah,
So you had
just
to
listening to that for the next
you had to
week.
listen to that bad boy back to back and
Yeah.
learn every word and learn all the inlay and everything.
What takeaway do you get? What's your favourite one?
We're a little bit limited by us, so we've got an Indian takeaway and a Chinese takeaway. We've got pizza as well. I love pizza, absolutely love pizza. I think it would be pizza.
Pizza, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
if
you
we
can't go wrong, can you?
if we had a Thai takeaway near us, then that would feature pretty highly. But we've got one. But by the time I get it, well, I say we've got one. There is one I can drive to, but by the time I get it home, it's cold, and that's no fun.
Yeah, it's no good. Do you have a favourite place you like going in Birmingham?
Yeah, I mean, basically, again, it just depends on who you're with.
Mm.
And if I'm with my wife, it's whatever my wife's favourite place is because that makes her happy. The one time we planned to go, and we got a babysitter. Just about to buy the train tickets, like 20 minutes before we went, and the trains were on strike.
Yeah.
So
no.
we had to get a bus. Took us about an hour on the bus. In my mind, I was going to take her to Manhattan and just have some cocktails. And she said to me, "You've made me go on the bus. I'd like to go somewhere else. I want a glass of champagne." So we had to go to Madeline's and get some champagne. So
Nice. That's a great place.
I like it there. It's I don't like the fact that the beer's like small and quite expensive for what it is.
I don't think I've had a beer there, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the beer's like it's like a 3/4 pint or something. But other than that, I mean, it's nice. It's nice atmosphere. But yeah, it's nice with my wife. With my mates, it would be basically somewhere where you can try different beers and stuff. So
The
yeah,
Wolf's
the
the
Wolf,
perfect place.
yeah.
That's one of my favourite. I absolutely love that place. I think it's fantastic.
The welly back in the day. That was
Yeah, that was it. That's before craft beer, wasn't it? You were all
Yeah.
drinking Carlin in one pub, or you were going to the Welly to try some different ales.
I
That was
don't know
about
if I
it.
don't know if you guys remember this, but it's when I was like young. So my two mates that I hang about with, I've been to school with them. So God, I'm almost 50. I'm 50 next year. So we're talking 35 years ago. Yeah, when we were 15, we used to be the costermongers. We used we used to have to carry my mate out the costermongers literally every Saturday night.
Wow.
And it's not there. We walked. We were up in Birmingham a few weeks back, and we just walking around trying to look at memories. And yeah,
What's there now? I can't even think what's in that space. I don't think anything took over, did it? I don't think anything wanted to take over that space. It was so dark, wasn't it? Like down the steps by the Oasis Market. God, loved that place.
No. Do you have a favourite food destination in the world other than Birmingham?
yeah, it's got to be Thailand.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
Nice.
into
What do you
the
get when you get
spice, or-
there?
I'm not. It's really funny. I'm okay with spicy food, but some Thai food just makes me come out. It's just too hot. And it's not necessarily spicy. I don't know what it is, but so I really enjoy like a beef massaman or a papaya salad. Love fish cakes if they're done right. I've been to Thailand for work a few times, but we had a honeymoon in Thailand. We went back a couple of times after that. So yeah, no, it would be Thailand.
Mrs. been there. She says it's all about the salads when you're there. Says just eat salads, just like every meal. This is the nothing like a salad in this country.
No.
They're a whole different thing out there.
Yeah.
It's just the vibrancy of it, isn't it? Everything they do is balanced, vibrant. It's amazing.
And the beer's good as well.
Yes. Brilliant.
Awesome. So,
Thank
yeah.
you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you very much for coming on. As I said, it's an app I believe in. I wish you all the success.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.